Why, hello there, fellow lumberjacks. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Windrose. Episode 18, Harvesting Ample Hardwood. And that gives me 100 iron. Pretty good. Okay, now that we've got that, I'll be able to make the jewelry bench with some of that iron, and then weapon upgrades. So, what I want to do is buy smithing tools, or... So I'm going to continue to upgrade the Rapier of 1,000 Cuts, and for that I'm going to use smithing flux. Sorry, not tools, flux. Oh, come on, Mercer, move. So, I believe it's 3... Oh, no, wrong weapon. It's 3 flux per level, and I'm going to want, like, 15 flux. So before I go get that flux, let's fetch the things I can turn in for profit. So I can have some more nest egg money before heading in. So I'll take... Oh, I didn't mean to drop the wolf heads. I'll take one of the wolf heads. I'll keep one as a for when I fulfill the challenge for the trophy. I'll take 2 of the goat heads and trade these in to the buccaneers because they'll pug for trophies. That's about it. I really don't have that much else. Oh, I just I'm getting fatigued. Taking it out, putting it back. Hopefully this won't happen more than once. Okay, don't hit Q. Nasty force of habit. Let's spin the remaining linen. I'll just leave that linen in there. It's fine. As far as linen goes, just because I'm upgrading my weapon doesn't necessarily mean I can't just also upgrade. So buying, I don't know, like 5 sewing tools or like 10 sewing tools while out there too wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. So I'm gonna head to the buck camp first to sell some trophies, and then head to town to buy smithing flux and sewing tools.
Weigh it, pay it. If you hear,
So I've got
growling behind
590 coin. It's I could actually buy some of the stuff, you know, anything that I need for the Buccaneers I could buy in their camp, but I'll just go to the Tortuga. It's the one-stop shop.
Still working, still building.
So let's go with 10 sewing.
Good leather, strongs.
And then 15 flux.
These came from deep places.
And yeah, that should allow me to upgrade some stuff. I might need to revisit, but it's a start. Oh, I didn't turn in the bounties. Yeah, I'll just do those real quick. Just to free up some space. So we're sending them to brethren.
Sailing here on
Tell me some good news.
I mean, it's only 5, so it makes very little difference, but it is 2 slots in my inventory. Another thing to consider is to buy blueprints to build more attractive things. We haven't been doing that. It isn't unreasonable. Guinea is mostly, that's its purpose, unless you want to exchange it for regular silver. I wouldn't, because it's pretty easy to grind the silver. It's pretty hard to grind the gold. So my 2 cents is keep gold as gold, keep silver as silver, and don't exchange, because the exchange rate is bad. But, you know, you make your own decisions, of course. So if I want to upgrade my armor, I'm going to need the cobbler. Or the shoemaker, rather, and that is 20 tan leather, and I would need the 17 more, so I would need the bark from the Divvy trees for that. So that's going to have to be on hold for now. But once I get the Divvy Tree bark, I will have the sewing tools and linen fabric to upgrade some of my armor. And then I probably don't have enough of the iron. Yeah, only 10. So 13 total iron smelted. So I don't yet have enough iron smelted to build the anvil for the weapon bench. But once I do, we'll have that material there. So while I'm waiting for more iron to smelt, let's cook up a quick meal and then get back and cut down some divvy trees. So the mine is going to take a few days to refresh its supply. And likely, you would seek out, you know, if you really need the material, you'd likely seek out alternative sources. So all of these thicker bushes here, it's just like wood and plant fiber. They're not divvies. Divvies are only the taller, mangled trees, or I don't know how else to describe them, but they're those right there, the taller ones. And every foothill island, or not every, but they typically have like 2 or 3 groves of them. And they also respawn, but it takes a while. Additionally, the timber from the divvies are useful for shipbuilding, as you'd imagine, because it's hardwood. And then for some weapons, some cannons. So you're going to end up using the bark and the hardwood. And I just let that tree land on my face. Oh, no, you don't. You piss the hell off. Oh my god, this goat's gonna kill me. I'll drink. Nothing like a boss goat ruining your day. That was close. No, not that close. Ugh, and there's another one? Why? Can the tree just land on his head, please? No? Okay. I tried. Is this game good? I would say so. It depends if you like the genre or not. But if you like games like Valheim or Enshrouded, you like to sail around as a pirate, you know, you'll like it. It has pretty decent ship-to-ship combat, kind of like Sea of Thieves or Black Flag or Sid Meier's Pirates, something like that. And then the combat itself, I would say, is a bit of an outlier in terms of the rest of the genre. For open world survival craft games, you don't typically get combat that feels Souls-like. The combat here is more Souls-like. You can lower the difficulty to make it less Souls-like, but I would say that's probably going to be the hang-up for most players, is that dying is really easy to do. Like, I can get killed by a goat or a tree or whatever, and without much warning to boot. But of course, there's the difficulty slider, so you could always turn it down if that's really, truly a problem. No, not on my head. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut down all the bigger trees of this grove and then head back. and see what upgrades I can manage. No, that was not a full-size one. Didn't actually get any hardwood. Given that, if I'm not mistaken, lignum vitae and ironwood are both tropical Caribbean trees, I'm surprised I went with divvy divvy. I know divvy divvy is like an Aruban tree. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Seems an interesting choice. I wonder why. I really like the weather effects of this game. It's very atmospheric. The it actually, to some degree or another, and this is a bit of a stretch, but to some degree or another, it reminds me of Kenshi, in that you have like dark, gloomy storms and like ominous music when the storms kick up. It has a way of matching the atmosphere and the audio in a leitmotif that a lot of games don't bother doing. Like RimWorld does it as a very basic level, where it's like you have combat or non-combat music, and most games do that. But a lot of games don't bother with to the next tier, which is like atmospheric music on top of combat music, and it is a nice touch that I tend to notice when playing games that incorporate that, or just games that have good soundtracks. Like Frostpunk, for instance, because Frostpunk's composer is awesome. Or Darktide, because I've been incorporating Darktide in one of my series recently, and Jesper Kidd, who composed Darktide soundtrack, and Peter Musial, that composed Frostpunks and other games as well. Just A+. Alright, I got just shy of 100 tree bark. I'll get the rest of the grove. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 trees left in this grove. With my luck, this goat's just gonna kill me as I... Oh, God! Yeah, okay. As I try to wrap this grove up. Now with the goats, what's interesting is they sometimes do a 1-head lunge, sometimes it's a 2-head lunge, and I can't really tell the difference between the two. Like, there's no cues or tells as far as I've noticed. So when you dodge back once, sometimes once is not enough and you end up gored anyway. Cheers, by the way. And then I think I'll do is I'll play a little bit longer to start to upgrade my gear into the iron tier, despite being out of time on the clock. To not just leave it where I've ground up a bunch of materials and then I don't use it. Seems unfair. So, like, 3 trees left, I think. And if I was trying to build wooden buildings with the, like, using Guinea to buy like nice wooden building patterns for blueprints, there'd be a bit of a benefit of cutting up the divvy because I'm getting regular wood and hardwood, and I really don't have a lot of uses for regular wood apart from charcoal at this point. All right. Walking out to any coast is fine. This is just boat back. But I think my fast travel bell's over this way. I do like the touch of like having fauna run from you. I'm surprised there isn't something similar. I guess technically the crabs that you can catch on the beach run from you in the coastal jungle. But no thanks. I'm surprised there aren't more critters that are trying to evade you. Like thinking about I don't know. There's not a lot of Caribbean critters though. I mean there's what are they called? They're not capybara, the other like large rat ones that are in like, well, that's more Honduras. Never mind. Ow. Haha, can't get me now. Just fast travel out of there. Alright, so now that I have all that material, let's see. I have 22 more iron. It's not super fast. There would, because smelting furnaces are really not that expensive. There's like a I mean, it's not that expensive to get multiple smelting furnaces, so if you find yourself impatient for the backlog of smelting furnaces, there is a caveat there. There's a bigger one that you unlock later, but regardless, I mean, you get free refunds, so dropping a bunch of these smelting furnaces to speed up the process is not unreasonable. Same is true of the tanning and really everything else that's cheap. So, yeah, let's get over to here. Oh, whoops, not, just kidding. No, I'm not trying to touch the bed. Let's make 30 tannin for now. And start tanning. Now, you don't necessarily want to tan all your leather, which would be what I'm doing right now, because the problem with that is I need some rough hide for the weapon upgrades. So if I tanned everything, I'd be screwing myself. With that said, you can buy it now that I've cleared Act 1. You can go over to the go over to the animal products and buy rough hide. And each box is 20. So even, you know, buying 2 boxes worth is 40. So you can fill it up pretty quick. It's of course pricey, given the amount of money I have. You know, that would be a sizable chunk of my total budget. But not necessarily a bad investment. At least they didn't go with Gimpy Gimpy. Oh my god, no. Imagine getting that sap on you. Your character would just be like, oh god, I'm undead, I can't die. Turn the gun on yourself and you're never dead. For those that don't know, the Gimpy Gimpy sap is horrible. Like, excruciating levels of pain that makes you want to commit seppuku. So yeah, I guess it could be better. Well, they could have gone Macanil, which is a similar burning sap hell that you find in Florida. But that's not a hardwood, so I understand why they didn't. Alright, so how much iron do I actually have? Enough to make an anvil. Barely, but enough. So now with this anvil, I can add the crafting upgrade. Your villagers will use these, so you can always position... You can, like, just go super efficient and, like, hide them, because it doesn't matter. Or you can lay them out in a certain way that, like, you can watch them use them, which is cooler, maybe. But now I have that, I have the ability to start upgrading my rapier. So there it is. Level 6. And as I get more iron coming off the line, and let's go ahead and do this. I'll do 31 here, and then taking my own advice, just build another smelter because they're basically free, nearly double my throughput now. And the iron cost has gone up a little bit, but now it's level 7. And then the other thing I wanted was the shoemakers. So that requires 17 tanned, which is... How much did it queue up? I queued up... So I have 11 in the queue, plus this, which is 15, plus 3, so I need to make 2 more. Done. And then, of course, like what I actually need for the armor upgrades. But in this case, I lucked out because I'm wearing privateers, which is made of linen, not leather. So I'm not going to need more tan leather for these initial upgrades. So now I have everything I need for that station in the queue done as well. As well as my lovely farm, which is not fruited, still growing. But in time, we'll end up with a bounty of crops, which is awesome. All right, you have any potions for me?
At your service. I remain at your service.
Yes, there's one more. It's not much, but you know. So the just the alchemical base makes the minor ones, which is pretty cheap, and then you can also make the better ones. So I'm going to use up my minor ones, and then transition over to the bigger ones once I use them up. I just wanted to use them up because, like, I don't really have anything else to do with them otherwise. All right, that should be another weapon upgrade. And now there's 2 more, so I need more iron for that. But yeah, I'm going from a level 5 blade to a level 10 blade, hypothetically. And that would actually allow me to fight level 10 enemies. I wouldn't be able to tank them well because my armor's not up to snuff. But at the very least, I'd be able to damage them, which is honestly the majority of the fight, I would say, as long as I'm like playing well. You used to install hardwood floors, and sending Jatoba from Brazil really sucked. Itched, and you did not want to breathe it in. Yeah, oof. Another thing that I hadn't built was the upgraded cooking fire. So the things, the upgrades, I right now already in the queue have everything we need for the shoemaker, but I have not yet done the reagent table, which is just 1 ironware, which is 5 iron. Or the cookware shelf, which is 2 ironware, 10 iron, which should be done at some point, and then that will fulfill all of the other ones. And then, of course, the jeweler table. I don't want to forget the jeweler table. So before I upgrade my blade yet another time, let's go ahead and get the jeweler table because it's important to just show you the interactions for that. So here's the jeweler, and I can only make the things that I've already made. Right? Like, I can't make new rings. You have to find them, which generally you find through, so far I found them through ruins and digs, but you can ascend them. So my pierce damage, I could ascend from uncommon to rare, changing its damage from 6 to 9%, but of course I don't have 10 gold ingots. And then the agility necklace, I could ascend from 5 agility to 7 with my silver, but I'm not really in an agility build right now, so I'm not going to bother doing that. I just wanted to show you, you know, the facilities, because it's one of the ones I hadn't made up until now. Coffee being epic tier, I mean, it would be really hard to source coffee, even though it grows around here. Like, you'd need to roast it, you'd need to cultivate it. Technically it's not native to it's native to Yemen, but whatever. So yeah, it would be a precious commodity for sure. So there we go. We have level 9, and I only need 7 more iron to make it a level 10. and our attack power will be much, much, much higher. And I'll show you what that looks like against one of the boars on my island, just so that you can get a feel for like how much stronger I am. Because these boars were once, you know, multiple hits, and now that's going to be very different. And this is, of course, a rapier, which has really low base damage to begin with. It's only a 125 pierce. It's not like a halberd at like 360 or whatever. Yeah, let me... Oh, another thing is when you unlock the next tier of stuff, like let's say I wanted to make a halberd, I could skip making a level 1 halberd and go straight to level 6, given the hardwood and iron. Right? So you don't have to do the 1 through 5 level ups anymore. You can just jump from 1 to 6. Now, there's no reason to make a green item, but the same would be true of like your weapons. So if I wanted to, if I was like, you know what, I wish I had the infantry musket, I could just make a level 6 infantry musket and skip the whole 1 through 5 nonsense, which is a great shortcut. It's brilliant. Doesn't really help you once you already have a level 5, because there's, you know, no incentive to go from 5 to 6 through the crafting tree. You might as well upgrade it, but it's a nice shortcut for lateral moves. All right, 1 more iron, and my rapier's maxed. There it is. Boom. So now I can't do it anymore. For me to go on, I would need mire metal and crocodile hide and more smithing flux. So obviously this is as high as I'm going to get for now. But I'll show you how powerful it is. As you can see, even 2 bleed stacks is 138 because it scales. It's supposed to be 25 damage per second. But because of the level difference, even 1 stack is bleeding 67 on this Azure Dodo. And then the stabs are like nearly double damage, right? They're supposed to be 125 pierce. I'm hitting for like 237. And that's, and I'll change these numbers even more. Because I'm doing something really easy, I can also just go, hey, let's just dump all my points into precision. I wouldn't necessarily, well, let's dump, yeah, I'll dump all of them. So now you can see the difference if I find another dodo, the damage difference between, like, no precision versus max. You do that on a sow. Not much of a fight now. I'm just barreling through them. Right, like 3 strikes on this boar is enough to make it bleed to death, and I can do that in 1 combo. So, the level difference is very noticeable at this point. Ooh, seeds! Give me seeds. I want to find another dodo so I can show you what like a pure... Oh, here we go. 300 damage. 85 ticks. And it's dead. And again, just to show you the difference, if I reset my points back from precision, which is rapiers, to vitality, which is what I would normally run. So I'm going to do a 20 vitality, 2 mastery build. I'll go from 300 on a dodo to 244. It's a pretty significant difference. However, there's survivability benefits of, you know, of the vitality I gain is probably worth it, given my skill level, to be blunt. Because, wow, I got 2 crits in a row there. Because, yeah, I absolutely face tank stuff. So I was never really a Souls player. But, yeah. Now that I have, wow, I dropped a ton of stone here. Now I have some top-tier gear. It's very noticeable when fighting super low-level enemies because of the level differential. And then it will be also very noticeable when fighting the level 10s. Because those level 10s no longer have such an edge on me I won't be doing such a massively reduced amount of damage on them that those 2 level 10s that I tried to fight in this camp over here, way more reasonable to fight, even though I haven't yet upgraded my armor, because I can actually damage them. And they can't just shrug it off and laugh. Speaking of armor, and maybe that will be the last thing I do this stream. Just one more turn, right? Let's upgrade my armor. And it doesn't really matter what piece I upgrade, because they're all the same defensive bonuses. So I could upgrade every piece once or twice. I would need more tan leather for that. So 10 more tan leather. So I'll upgrade every piece once. And then that tan leather will let me do every piece one more time. If I had the linen fabric, I just realized I don't. Again, linen, huge bottleneck. Ooh, but it's coming up. That's like growth stage 2. So I'm probably going to be impatient and not wait for that linen. So let's just put away this resources and go clear out that high level camp that I wanted to clear. But maybe with some more bullets, gunpowder, and food. Okay, so I'm pretty well set up for that fight now. Oh, it's also not unreasonable to, like, shred the rings you have. I don't really have a means to... I don't have rings worth upgrading. But you could also break them down for, like, silver. If you were lacking silver for upgrades. So, the last thing I'm going to do is... this mission. The Bitter Pill. So I'm going to do the next step of the Bitter Pill. And the Bitter Pill was to investigate whether or not Francois betrayed the doctor and betrayed everyone, essentially. So we're investigating the gunpowder crates to see if Francois was indeed involved. But this time, and the reason I chose this specifically is, if you were here for when I tried to fight those level 10s and they didn't hit me, but it took a long time to try to take them down. Now I have a level 10 weapon matching their level 10 defense, and it should be a little bit different of a fight. Hopefully, as long as I don't, like, face tank my way into an early grave. And the same is true of, like, wolves and everything else that I'm going to run into. Because I've been fighting at a massive disadvantage up until now. In these areas. Yep, this feels like way more of a normal fight now, and less of like an uphill Sisyphusian battle against massive defense. Oh god, except for that. Getting absolutely gutted by a marksman reminds me my armor sucks! Compared to a level 10's attack power. Thank you for tuning in to Windrose, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I am not, however, looking for feedback. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits, and everyone who showed up to the marathon live and supported this subathon. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow privateers.